Howdy folks, welcome to Katie Phillips Scrapbook Designs. I'm Katie and today we're going to work on the cover in the Enjoy the Moment mini album. For this album we're using the Botanical Garden collection by Echo Park. We're going to start off working on the interior of the album, and the interior of the album is going to feature a couple of pockets on both sides, front and back. The smaller of those pockets, I've cut two pieces here to 5 by 4 1/4. We're going to score the 5-inch side at 1/2 inch and 4 1/2 inches, and the 4 1/4 inch side we're going to score at 3 3/4. We're going to double mat the exterior of those pockets. The larger mat is 3 5/8 by 3 7/8. I've got two of those. There's also two pockets. And I've got two focal images. They are 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. And I just cut them from the 4 by 4 cut apart sheet, which was originally the collection cover. So let's get started with scoring and matting the outside. And then we're going to wrap the pockets around the second set of mats. The way that I do my pockets, well, the way I do most of my scoring, in fact, if I have to score the same length twice, I'll make the first score where I need it and then fold it under, and then make the second score where I really need it to be. So if I were to score this at 1/2 inch and 4 1/2 inches, it would be a little bit off in the total measurements just because scoring here actually altered the dimensions of this paper. So I'm going to fold that under and score at 4 inches, and you can see that there's not exactly a 1/2 inch because there's the 1/2 inch or 4 1/2 inch score line. Now I'm going to rotate it and score at 3 3/4. And by doing it this way, that guarantees that this pocket's actual dimensions when everything is folded is going to be 4 by 3 3/4. The next step with the pocket is to add double-sided tape, and I'm going to go just inside this corner area here. I'm going to start there at the edge and take it all the way to the open edge of the pocket. Along the bottom, I'm going to start just inside this corner piece here, along the edge to just inside the other corner piece. And now I'm going to miter this corner straight across. On to the next phase. We need to mount these pockets to the mats that are going to go on the larger pockets. And we're going to double mat those as well. The larger mats are 6 7/8 by 3 7/8. We've got 2 of those. And with the pattern paper, we have 2 mats cut to 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. We're just going to attach these to the top because the pocket is going to cover the rest. And the reason that we're going to do this wrap around the mat is so that any inserts can slide in and out easily without getting caught on the side tabs or the bottom tab. So let's go ahead and glue these down, and then we're going to do the wrap. Right, now to complete the wrap, you're going to place the pocket face down, and then you're going to slide the larger mat with the pattern paper on top here. You're going to slide that down, and you're going to position the bottom of the larger mat up against this bottom score line here, and then you're going to center the mat between the 2 side score lines. And I don't remember if I burnished that down, so we're going to burnish that down now. And then pull the release paper on one side and press down. Then you'll pull the other 2 release papers, fold over, and press down. And now any insert that you slide in there is going to go right in and not get caught on anything. So that'll go all the way down to the bottom. So we're going to repeat this for the other pocket. All right, the larger pocket is actually going to be a side opening pocket, and it measures 4.5 inches, and we're going to score that at the 4-inch mark by 8, and we're going to score that at the 1/2 inch mark, fold that 1/2 inch under, and then score again at the 7-inch mark. Now we're ready to add our mats to these larger pockets. And what we're going to do, we're going to add glue to the back here. Then we're going to line the pocket up with the bottom score line and the this score line here. And then we're going to flip this one the other direction because these are going to go on opposite sides of the book. So we want to make sure they mirror each other and do the same thing. And I find when I'm doing this that it helps if I go ahead and fold that tab under to align the bottom and fold this tab over to the side to get the side aligned. And from there, the rest of it will fall into place where it belongs. The next step is going to be to add these mats to the page mats. And the larger mats for this page are 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. We've got 2 of those. And it's not really a page, it's the interior of the album. And the smaller mats are, I didn't write it down when I cut them. They are 2 by 6 3/4. 4 3/4, 6 3/4. Yep. I think I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch off of both of these. So these are now 2 inches by 6 7/8. So we're going to glue these down first and then wrap the larger pockets around those. Now, similarly as with these smaller pockets, we're actually not going to go all the way up to the line on this one because these are cut to 4 3/4 and the covers are 5 inches. So we're going to come out about 1/8 of an inch from this score line here. And then center it from top to bottom. And I'm going to dry fit this because I don't want to get through doing both of them and find out that it doesn't fit. But that looks like that fits perfectly. So now we're going to do the other side. And now we're going to glue these down inside the album. The album is already wrapped, and if you want to see the video for wrapping the album, I will link to the tutorial for creating an album cover because I used this album cover to create a full tutorial on how to do an album cover. I'll link it up here. I just created some opportunities for embellishment. Maybe. Let's see if we can get that off without making a mess. I really need to invest in some undo. All right, the interior is done, so let's start with matting the exterior. So we're going to double matte the exterior of the album. The overall album size, we've got 2 chipboard pieces here that are 5x7, one that is 2x7, and we have a couple of 8.5x11s that have been glued together and wrapped around. And then I ended up cutting off a piece on this side and used this piece to cover the spine. And then a couple of pieces that are cut to, I think it was 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 to cover the rest of the interior of the album, which turned out to be a good thing because covering the spine and covering the interior there might have been some exposed chipboard if I hadn't done that. For the exterior of the spine, the 2 mats are 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I'm using this bright red. And then I'm going to mat 2 pieces that are 4.5 by 6.5 on top of those. And this is an element from the die cut sheet that I'm going to use as the cover image, the title. I think I may mount that on some white cardstock and cut around it just to help it stand out a little bit from the background. Then the spine mat is 1 3/4 by 6 3/4 and layered with 1.5 by 6.5. Okay, so we got the cover element added. We took a die cut piece from the cut apart sheet, or actually we took 2 die cut elements. This is the piece that says hello on it, and then this is going to be our title element. And I've rotated the Hello Peace landscape, and the Enjoy the Moment is portrait, and elevated by some chipboard. Now we're going to add the ring post. For that, I'm going to need my We Are Memory Keepers Crocodile. And I am simply going to eyeball the center here and punch through. Rotate it until the ring is facing down. And bend these tabs back. Before we add the charm, let's add the tassel. And this is some ribbon that I got in a grab bag from Michael's. They had it in the bargain bins for, I think it was $2.49 for a huge bag of ribbon. I'm going to start by adding the largest first. I'm just going to thread it through the ring here. I've got all the ribbon threaded through. I'm going to make sure that it's kind of laying relatively flat. Pinch it together. And I'm going to flip it up. And I'm going to wrap this dark green ribbon around the whole thing near the ring and tie it off. Tie it good and tight. I'm going to add a dot of art glitter glue right there. You could use Aleene's, I'm sure. It's just that there's not as fine a control over where the Aleene's goes as opposed to art glitter glue. And now I'm going to wrap this ribbon around the tassel one more time. And tie it off. You could go around a couple more times if you wanted to. I'm going to tie it off with a square knot. And you can leave those strands to be part of the tassel. I think I might do that. But definitely do need to add another dot of glue directly onto the knot. And I'm going to let that dry. Alright, that's pretty much dry, so now I'm going to go through and I'm going to trim this ribbon. And I'm not going to trim it all to the same length because that would look really odd. And I think I'm going to do a fishtail on the larger ribbon. And now I've got a charm here that you need to find the lobster claw. There we go. This is a little bit longer than the album is tall, but that's okay. I don't mind it dragging. Just gonna clip that on there. And I'm going to end up taking it off because it is weighing the tassel down. that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos related to mini albums. I release new videos every Friday and Tuesday. And if you have a question, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I will include all the materials, links to all the materials in the description box. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.